Libra, born September 23rd to October 22nd. What can you expect for the month of October 2018? Let's tune in and find out. Okay, so, all right, so Libra, I see a lot of pressure. Like I see water coming in, filling up, creating anxiety. You know, for me, water filling up can be a couple things. It can be emotional, so it can be a very emotional time for us. It can also feel like pressure, like there's a lot of pressure on you, whether it's financial pressure or emotional pressure. The good news is as I see the water coming up, I do see it receding and going back down. So if you're laying out a large sum of money, you could expect a large sum of money to come in. Now, there may be a little break where the money goes out and then it's like, oh my gosh, and then the money comes in, right? So it could be like that. It could be an emotional situation that's come up, something you have to handle, a diagnosis that you've discovered, or someone around you. It could be a situation suddenly where you're having to move, or someone is moving out. So these kind of like sudden, unexpected events that can happen that create anxiety for us. And then at the same time, I see it's handled. So I don't want to have this be, the theme of the month, but it's certainly an element of the month where there is some pressure, where there is some angst coming in. But I want to reassure you that I'm seeing it leave. I'm seeing that you're able to handle it. So whenever I get a reading like that, I just choose not to even worry about it, because it's not like, unless you know there's something coming, but this feels like it could be that you have an awareness, but it may look different than what you had thought it would look like, right? So let's say if you had a bill, it could be a much bigger bill, right? Or if you had a situation, the situation could be happening sooner rather than later, right? Where you thought maybe you had more time, just something that's kind of like a little bit out of sorts with what you were thinking. And that's where the anxiety is coming in. And the good news is like it gets handled, right? It may not be immediate, but it does get handled, and within a time frame that works for you. So just be aware that whatever comes in, there's a little bit of the shaky energy, but you're going to handle it and it will get released. All right, so let's move on to relationships and see what's in store for us for relationships for Libras for this month. So there is a really great opportunity to feel connected through the heart and to be able to validate emotions and feelings that you've had, even from people from the past. It may be old friends that pop in, maybe an old lover that shows up again. But there is some synergy around relationships and opportunities for fun and connection, and really truth. So I'm really feeling some real loving energy around that. Now, there is something I want to bring to your attention. Venus does go retrograde October 5th through November 16th. Now, Venus is in charge of beauty and fun and romance, and so if you do meet somebody new, you just want to take it slow. It's not like a Mercury retrograde where you're completely blind and you don't see the other thing. It just means that we don't have that planet to really give its full force or its full blessing on a situation that's happening, which means you could meet somebody and it would take just a little bit more time, or you would actually want it to take a little more time because you don't have that full support of the planet. So there may be things about it that you're not seeing or getting in the way that would really benefit you. So still, there's a lot of love opportunity and action that you can have this month. You just want to take it slow. When it's out of retrograde, November 16th, then of course we have Mercury going retrograde again on the 16th through December 6th. So we've got these back-to-back retrogrades. So whatever love you have or create with or connect with, just take it slow. So you can actually meet somebody. There's a really good opportunity to meet somebody this month, and you'll actually get to know enough about them so that in 6 weeks, when that new other Mercury retrograde shows up, it won't play havoc with it, right? It won't create a big problem for it. And then after December 6th, everything can just be in full bloom. So it's really the best way to start the relationship, nice and slow and tender and getting to know somebody, and then the same thing when Mercury retrograde happens in November, just taking it easy. So just have no pressure when the relationship shows up. Just enjoy it, let it be at its pace, and just know that everything's perfect. Now, for those of you in a coupled relationship, that means that things may not go as planned. You have your years or your history together to draw on for reassurance and just knowing, okay, things may be a little tense or not as much fun. But what there is to do is you have your history together. You have that certainty. We've made it through tough times. We'll get through it again. It doesn't mean, again, it doesn't mean that you're going to break up. It doesn't mean that, it just means that things may not be as fluid or as fun in the romance department. So it just means it's kind of, there's like a cap on it, is how I would say. There's just a little bit of cap on it. Now, when our job is not to be overly influenced by these planets, it's to have an understanding, oh, that's going on. But our job is to always create above and beyond the influence of the planets. So it's just information. When things happen, you go, oh, okay, that's that Venus. I recognize that. Now, what am I going to do about it? I'm going to create with a higher power, and I'm going to make lemonade out of lemons, right? So it's like that. We are never here to be under the influence of the planets, right? Our job is always to co-create above them and to see them as just part of the equation. And our job is like, wow, okay, so let's practice being present. Let's look at ways that we can just love our partner where they're at right now in the moment, being who they are, or loving ourselves for who we are in the moment, right? And, and apologize a little faster or walk away if we're short-tempered, right? There are things that we can do when we know that we don't have as much influence or as much power so that we can actually be a better person around those that we love. So just know that it's more our responsibility to pay attention to ourselves and to do more of our own work and to be able to create better relationships when we don't always have this planetary support. Okay, so now let's look at if there's anything else about a romantic relationship this month that we need to be aware of. Okay, it can also be easy. It doesn't have to be so, right? It doesn't have to be that way. Because I also feel like there's a gentle flow here with just things being lighter. So when you know where you stand in your relationship, and maybe those are things that you can get clear in these next couple of days and just really affirm, I'll always be with you, honey. I always love you, honey. We've been together, 5 years or 5 months or, and then when we hit a speed bump, if one of us is always committed, that's all really that matters, right? So you kind of reaffirm whatever you need to reaffirm to get you through when things aren't just as great, right? So it's the difference when you go to the beach and the sun is out and you're having an amazing day as opposed to going to the beach when it's cloudy. You can still have a good time, right? And, you may get a little wet, may get rained on, but you can still have a great time. It's like that. It's very gentle. So now what there is to do is just to relax into it, enjoy it. You know the lay of the land and you know what you have to bring to it, right? Your own energy, your own excitement, your own joy. Now, let's look at those of you who are single. Talked a little bit about it and about if you meet somebody new, you're likely to meet somebody new. There's still opportunity to meet somebody new. It's just if you do, just don't push so hard, right? Just go with the flow. Don't have a lot of expectations about it just taking off. And if it does take off, I would kind of make sure it stays on a level of balance, right? That you don't get in over your head, because what can happen, you can still go through that love-hate phase really fast, right? And then get burned out, and then boom, the relationship is gone before it even got started. So you don't want to do that. You want to just make sure that you take your time with the relationship so you really get a chance to get to know this new person that you're getting involved with, okay? So absolutely, there's still opportunity for new romance and for new love for you guys who are interested in it. All right, let's move to our money career. For those of you interested in money and career for Libras, let's see what's in store for you this month. Okay, so I'm just feeling like this pressure, like there's this pressure coming down on you to make things happen and to get things going in your career. Now, we've had all this, these last several months with all these retrogrades, with all these planets, and then we have the planet of Mars that was quiet for a while, and now is just sort of starting to get to some momentum, and now we hit these other, retrogrades, first with Venus and then 6 weeks later with Mercury. I don't want you to be deterred by that. What there is to do is to let go and do what you can in the moment, right? This is the call to action here is patience and persistence and possibility. So with the 3 P's, patience, persistence, and possibility. So that's where we're standing in. We're standing in what's possible. We're having patience to get there, and we're being persistent with it. And if you guys can do that, right? And if you see that vision and hold that vision for the next 3 months, January, they're showing me in January, the pearl is yours. You open the oyster and there's the pearl. So, so what if you don't get your things launched that you wanted to get launched? I know you're thinking money. You're thinking, oh, I needed to do that, and I had all this deadline, and I had, you know what? Sometimes the universe knows more than we do. So what maybe all these slowdowns are asking us to double check. Is this really good? Is it perfected the way it needs to be? Am I saying and selling exactly what I want to be doing? Is this the vein that works for me, right? So making sure that the way that you're organizing your life, your career, your focus, your money, where you're spending your money, how you're achieving your money, where you're receiving your money from, are all in alignment with you. So this is a good time just to kind of like pause and reflect. Is everything the way that I want it? What part of my life financially isn't working? Where am I spending too much money? Where do I need to pull back, right? So these slowdowns are giving us a chance to stop and look at what areas of our life are no longer in sync, right? Career and money. So there can be areas of your life where there are times to push, where there is an opportunity to take a meeting, where there is an opportunity to pitch an idea. The whole thing is just don't expect it to take off on a rocket ship, right? It's more of a slow, steady movement, and with some leakage happening, right? So that's what I said: patience, persistence, and possibility. Same with that. You're going to have then the money and the career kind of come together in a way that works for you. Let's see anything else about your money. Now, there may be something at the end of October that comes in that has a nice shot of money coming in. It could be a one-time thing. It could be something that you're creating that is every quarter, right? It could be maybe a new bonus program that you worked out with your employer. It could be that you just have decided to sell something and it shows up at the end of October, early November. But I do see a possibility of a big lump sum of money coming in around that October 29th, November 3rd kind of date. So just keep that in mind. It could be something that you're hired for, kind of a one-time gig that shows up. So lots of good energy towards coming in a big lump of sum of money then. Let's see. Now there could also be something in early October, like around the 10th, 8th, 9th, 10th. I'm feeling like just my throat is closed. I feel a little bit like I could have gotten punched in the stomach. Now that could be something that has to do more with your money and an expense or a bill that you're being presented. Now it could be a tax bill. It could be a bill for a remodel, right, of your home. It could be that the expenses went up. It could be a car that went on the fritz and now all of a sudden you were thinking it was a $200 bill and now it's a $2,200 bill, right? So it's these unexpected things. And just know that the money's there, you'll handle it, you'll find a loan, you'll get a loan, or you may even get a gift from somebody to pay it off. There's just all these different ways to handle it. And then there is money coming at the end of the month. So whatever this kind of unexpected thing is that's around that, 8th, 9th, 10th. I have a headache. Whatever that is next week, guys, I'm sorry. I'm just the messenger. Remember, I'm a Libra too, so not so happy about that. But the good news is that there is money coming in at the end of the month, and you'll be able to meet this threshold, whatever it is. Okay. Here's the other thing, is there's a lot of creative energy to help you. So you do have some creative energy that's going to help you. And there are going to be some things that aren't going to work, right? I just seen some ideas that you go to that just kind of like fall apart, like, well, that didn't work. But don't be discouraged about it, because like I said, I do see that emotional energy releasing, and you do getting what you need. You do get what you need. Okay, so let's look at any health issues coming up this month. Yeah, some of you may have some teeth situations or bone situations that come up that need to be addressed, whether it's like an osteoporosis situation and you need to take something for that, or whether it's actually a root canal or a chip of tooth or something like that, or also feeling a lot of stress around my heart, like I can't breathe. That could be anything from just getting, a bronchial infection, to asthma, or something that flares up if you're somebody who has a lot of allergies and it's that time of the year and the allergies season starts to come in. If you're somebody who's allergic to hay and they're baling hay and harvesting hay and things like that this month, that not being able to breathe with the harvest. So just know that you know yourself, and just take care of yourself. The positive thing is that, again, I feel like these are temporary things, and you're going to be able to have the universe's support to get you through it. Okay, let's see if there's any unexpected surprises. All right, so let's tune into that. Okay, there is a nice surprise this month. There's a nice gift coming to you that, and it may be, here's the thing. When somebody gives you something, there's a gift, and you a lot of times see the caliber of the person, and so, oh, it's my birthday, and so you think, oh, the caliber of that person, it could be a big gift, and instead it's a trinket, right? But it's still a gift. So I see this silver plate, somebody giving you, this silver tray, and then, but, so that to me means an expectation. There's a silver tray, but then it's this little gift. So just the bottom line is, have no expectations. So have no expectations about any gifts coming to you this way because of your birthday, or any expectations of what it may look like if somebody invites you to dinner, and you think, oh my God, they might offer me a job, and it just turns out to be a dinner, right? So whatever it is just enjoy it. Just enjoy the offer into which something is extended to you, and have no expectations, right? So when we release the expectations, we really can receive what it was intended for, which was maybe just a moment, just to share with one another. Okay, so let go of any expectations you have about getting anything big from somebody, and then when the little thing comes in, or these little things that come in, you'll really be able to appreciate it, and you'll really be able to enjoy it. So the bottom line is, guys, this month is it's all between our ears. Everything that we're creating this month are miracles that we are the ones who are creating and intending and rising above these planets, okay? So don't let anything get you down. This does not mean that you're going to have like a waiting month. You can still have a terrific month. You can have an amazing month, but it's coming from our co-creative abilities, right? Our ability to divinely see a situation and create it in a way that is magical. So we have that capacity, and I'm going to be using it, and I hope you're going to be using it too. So dial into that part of yourself, the part of yourself that's creator consciousness. See every situation for what it is. Enjoy it for what it is. Choose that reality. And through choosing it and accepting it, now you can go above it, right? That's when you tap into that possibility that we're talking about. So patience, persistence, and possibility. That's what we're going to use for our mantra for the month, guys. We're going to have an amazing month. All right, happy birthday to all my Libra pals. Love you guys. I hope you like my intuitive astrology, and share it with your friends. Comment below, and I look forward to seeing you again next month.